What's up, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video I want to talk about Mario Kart 9. I want to talk about if this game has been delayed. Now, here's normally the deal. Here's normally what happens when I make a video like this. The first thing I get is a game can't be delayed if it hasn't been announced yet. I normally get that quite often. I've only made this video, this kind of video a couple times, but that's normally what people will say. I get that train of thought. I understand it. If you guys don't agree, completely cool. We can all have our different opinions. Honestly, I'm completely okay with that. But I truly think that is a possible thing. I think a game that hasn't formally been announced but has been in the making for however long, a year, 2 years, 3 years, keep going, however long you want, I truly believe behind closed doors, a game can be delayed. You look at The Last of Us Part 2, obviously that game, rumor had it was supposed to come out in the fall. That game was then pushed, again, all kind of leaks, never really confirmed, but was given a release date, and then that was actually, obviously, officially pushed back, right? But there's been examples. There's been numerous examples of games that were supposed to, rumor has it, come out at a certain time, but then they just kind of disappeared, stuff like that. So I do want to just kind of open it up by saying that I do get that maybe a game can't technically be delayed if it was never announced to begin with. And Mario Kart 9 is this mystery game, right? We all know it's happening, right? After Mario Kart Tour, it's been quite a long time since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that game has sold amazing. Last time I looked, and the kind of age-old thing with this game is it's the highest-selling Switch game of all time. Now we've had Pokemon, we've had Animal Crossing. Who knows? Did Animal Crossing maybe beat it? The Nintendo games sell absolutely incredible, no matter what games there. A lot of their games just end up kind of leapfrogging each other, but at least for the longest time, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was the highest selling Switch game of all time. I think we are in the need for Mario Kart 9, and if you look at even what Nintendo was planning on doing this year, what have we heard? Well, this is the year of Mario, basically, for Nintendo, right? They were going to do a Nintendo Direct that was going to be solely focused on Mario. Remember, a couple months ago, we heard that this was going to be the year that they remaster and put on the Switch all of these classic Mario titles. Loads of them. My favorite, or the one that I want the absolute most, is Mario Galaxy, right? Super Mario Galaxy. Those two games are some of my favorite games of all time. They deserve the perfect scores they get. I absolutely love them. Those are, if I had to pick any Mario game, right, to come to the Switch, that's absolutely what I would pick, and I would buy it day one easily. But in all of that talk, and even this Nintendo Direct that, again, so remember, there was going to be a Nintendo Direct, it was going to be in June, and then rumor has it that Nintendo has told their first parties, we're pushing it, we're not doing it in June. Is it delayed or canceled? A lot of people say delayed. Not very many have said canceled. I don't believe it's been canceled. I think the general, opinion on it is that they'll just do it in July or August, and then that's when because again, I guess, what's gone on around the world has really affected Japan very heavily. They have not taken working from home very well. They're very highly sophisticated technologically in a lot of ways, but actually, like, computer-wise, they're not. And that's just, I've read that from a lot of different places. It seems like Japan has a lot of problems from getting people that normally are used to working at offices to working at home. So I get it. I get why these kind of things would be pushed. Honestly, it does kind of raise questions, though. See, because when that happened, the major thing was, okay, well, it's just Nintendo Direct. Just the Nintendo Direct is delayed. These games, these Mario games, and again, we're thinking of, like, Paper Mario and Galaxy and all these kind of things. We're thinking of those games, but we're thinking about the Direct being pushed because of all this stuff. Not many people have thrown around, well, have the games been delayed because of this? So we know those were games that were supposed to come out around the fall. Now, what else? Well, there's been leaks in the past, actually for, I'd say, about a year now, probably a little bit more than a year, that 2020 was the year that we're going to get Mario Kart, that this fall, the fall of 2020 was going to be their time. So, we have next gen, you have PS5, you have Xbox Series X, and obviously those are going to go through their own things, right, as we get closer. Does the PS5 get delayed? There's been a lot of negative things about that one. Microsoft, I think they're in a better position to at least deliver, literally to ship out the Xbox Series X's. But no matter what, Nintendo is going to have to compete with them in some way, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, you need a big blockbuster fall game. Now, what have they done recently, right? They've had Pokemon. They've nailed really any specific time they need a game to come out. They've had a game, and it's delivered, right? Remember last year, or 2018, for their Christmas game, it was Smash Bros., and that game sold tremendously, right? So what could be the game this year? Well, I'm not saying Galaxy or any of these other Mario games wouldn't, the remasters of them wouldn't sell well. I think they all would sell well, but I think you need something really big to kind of fend off the next gen, because a lot of people are going to buy next gen, and even myself, I have PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and I'm always going to have the Switch. I'm always going to play it. I'm going to play it for its exclusives, but in the fall, I'm getting the PS5. Like, there's going to be a lot of next-gen games. You only have so much money. You only have so much time. Maybe you leave Nintendo Switch behind for 3, 4, 5 months, and you come back to it in the spring. And it's not just me. I mean, a lot of people are going to think that, right? So what do you need to do? You need to have a game to kind of occupy people, to say, hey, no, we're still around, we're still doing stuff. And that game has been leaked and rumored for a long time to be Mario Kart 9. However, again, here we are, we're in May. Now, I don't think we would get the announcement until the Nintendo Direct. Now, I guess my biggest question would be, were they going to announce it as kind of the conclusion to their Mario Nintendo Direct in June? So, we know that this is a big year for Mario. We know they have all these remakes, all these remasters in the works. Do they cap that off with a Mario Kart? Because Mario Kart, I mean, Mario is the first word, right? That's in the name. So I feel like that does qualify as a Mario title, right? So do you do that as part of that Direct? But also, is it too late? Like, if you do it in July or August, is it enough time to get it out in October, November, December, whenever you end up doing it? I think you could. I honestly think you could. It's a little alarming that we haven't heard much from it, though. That's my biggest thing, is the rumors of Mario Kart 9 are pretty old at this point. They are. They are pretty darn old. I think the earliest that we can go back is like this past fall, like October, November, maybe, is the last time I've heard of anything Mario Kart related, and that was a while ago, right? And then again, about 2 months ago, we heard about all these Mario games that they were getting remastered and put on the Nintendo Switch, but no talk of Mario Kart 9. That's a little alarming, right? Because don't you think that would be a big thing kind of thrown into it? Again, couple that with Japan, where they make these games and they make these systems, like they're struggling. So a lot of people have gone to, again, jumping to the Nintendo Direct is maybe the only thing that's been impacted in terms of just Nintendo. And we know, obviously, the Switches have been having shortages, the controllers have been having shortages, all this kind of stuff because of their, production plants and all that. But what about the actual games? What if there is a studio over there making Mario Kart 9 and they have to, it's been pushed so far? Because again, remember, like, they do it right at the end. It's not like these games, these fall or these holiday, let's call them, games. It's not like they come out in like September or October. I'd qualify games that come out in October, and I would call it like holiday, because you're still getting them like right before Thanksgiving, right before you're in that Christmas zone. People are buying Christmas gifts probably at that time still. You could start in October. So I mean, I would classify October as holiday, but gaming developers don't, right? It's November, and then like the first week of December is like holiday 2020, or holiday of whatever year, and then like September and October is qualified as fall. So if you hear holiday, normally that means November. Even the Series X, right? It's holiday 2020, so it's November of 2020. Okay, so if you do that, that is you're putting it right up against the edge, and that's what they normally do, right? Look back at Pokemon, look at Smash Bros., which was the first week of December. They do it very late. They do it like around like a week before, if not the week of, or even the week after Black Friday. Now imagine that, but then all of the stuff that's gone on around the world, does it push development by a month and a half? That's all you need, because if it comes out late November, it gets pushed a month and a half. All of a sudden now you're looking at like the end of January. The game comes out end of January, early February. Like, that could totally happen. So again, it'll be interesting to see. I as I said in the beginning of the video, I get it if people don't want to say that a game can actually be delayed without it actually being announced yet. Again, that's how I think of it. I do think we'll find out. I think if you believe certain people in the gaming industry, I think through time, someone is going to talk about it at some point, right? If we end up getting Mario Kart, like the announcement, but it says like February 2021, I think eventually like Jason Schreier or somebody will come out of the woodworks and say, yeah, this game was supposed to be the fall, like Nintendo wanted that, but it had to be pushed. I do think we could get that. I really do. Now, again, is this what I want? No, absolutely not. I want to be able to play Mario Kart 9 this fall. Again, I guess from a personal perspective, like I want to get Watch Dogs. I want to get Assassin's Creed. I want to get all these fall games that are coming out for next gen. If the Batman game comes out, like all this kind of stuff, there's going to be a lot of games to get this fall. So I guess maybe in a personal kind of note, I guess saving money-wise, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But from a general thing, from like a Nintendo strategy point of view, I think they do need some. It's not going to be Legend of Zelda 2, right? Because Breath of the Wild 2, it's not going to be that, right? Because I think that's going to be like a next year thing. Probably like halfway through the year next year, we'll get that. That's not ready yet, so it can't be that. They really don't have anything else ready. Well, I know there has been talks of a standalone Mario game, that there could be a standalone Mario game being pretty darn close to being done. Maybe that's the only other thing. But I think Mario Kart is probably the closest thing they have to completion. And again, if I had to lay my money down, I would say that's probably the game that they were hoping on releasing this fall to compete, put themselves in the conversation while the next generation consoles are making their way in. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think firstly, do you think Mario Kart 9 exists? Secondly, do you think that the game is supposed to come out this fall? Do you think it will end up being pushed back into maybe, next spring? What do you think? What do you think is going on with Mario Kart 9? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all on the next video.